I agree with Councilmember Schaefer. I have a strong concern with jail time being associated with nuisances. I think there's a very valid concern for something that is deemed hazardous. I think of some of the properties within the city that are large fields, large areas that when things get overgrown, it could be a huge fire hazard. I think that sort of thing would warrant the $1,000 fine, potentially. But when I think of case by case scenario, the majority of people, especially in this room, live in a single family residence, smaller lot. I don't think the crime of having an overgrown yard and having an unsightly nuisance should be met with potential jail time. So I have a strong concern with that. And I think this should be carefully looked at with how we slap a penalty on this sort of thing. I understand there are so many different ways that people could be in personal crisis, and they don't have time to look after their yard. And I think about ways that we could get involved as a city where you're met with a fine unless you mitigate the issue. And if you need assistance, the community could get involved, or the cost of bringing someone in would reduce the fine. I think there's ways that we could go about it in more of a civil way, and to not be draconian. So my big takeaway, I have a problem with the language and having jail time associated with this. That's my biggest concern. And then I think we should consider how high of a max penalty per nuisance, if the $1,000 is warranted. And I again, to repeat myself, I think some of the properties in our city are so large and create such a massive hazard that could make sense. But for the majority of the homes, I think that's excessive.